Hello, I'm Derek Giant Johnson, Derek's mouse name, Diane's feminine. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about... Sorry, my dysphoria is kind of acting up. About the attempted coup to get Trump back in office. And why, yes, it is fucking Trump's fault. Not only that, but everybody who kept pushing his bullshit as if it was fucking factual. It wasn't. There's no solid evidence that there was this mass voter fraud, which, by the way, mass vote fraud doesn't fucking exist. It's made up. It's just like the fucking tooth fairy. And refuse to hold Trump accountable. Here's the thing. Even though Trump never directly said, hey, go do this, he kept going on about this non-existent voter fraud. He kept talking about how he was screwed in, with this implication that if you truly love him, you'll do whatever it takes to keep him in office. He kept prattling on about how Biden was the death of America, how he was the only one who was the savior of America. He kept weaponizing his own fan base's radicalism without care for who would get hurt. And never once did he say, hey, you shouldn't go and try to take over the government. Hey, you shouldn't go and, hurt people. You know, before this happened, when it actually could have maybe made a difference. Other than, half-hearted attempts, oh, don't. But here's the thing. Trump gave them the motivation. Trump kept preying off their own frickin' victim complexes and their radicalism. He is 100% to blame for everything that has happened. And here's the thing, there were people that kept pushing this thing too, that they also didn't, say, hey, don't go hurt people. Other maybe a half-hearted fucking attempt. What Trump did is wrong. He has been manipulating people for fucking years. Preying off them for years. And here's the thing, when you have people that, they basically worship him like a freaking god, that are this radical, you kind of have to be 100% clear that you don't want them to do this. And I hope everybody goes, well, it was actually Antifa or BLM. First of all, Antifa and BLM, who I know people that are supporters of both those movements, and I myself am a supporter of BLM. And am anti-fascist, do not like Biden. They don't like him enough to do this. Plus, here's the thing. They are more, when the more radical members of that group do stuff, they're more about property damage. And again, it's usually done to spread a message or to bring awareness to an issue. There is a method to their madness. Here, what social justice message did this actually convey? None? Oh, and before you bring up the facial recognition thing, the company themselves said that was basically somebody taking them out of context and saying something they never said. Here's the thing, Trump only said that what they were doing was bad because he wanted to save his own skin. You're finally realizing, Trumpers, he never gave two shits about you as long. He only cared that you could do something or achieve something for him. And look, the election was not stolen. People just didn't like Trump. It's that simple. And before you say, oh, it was just a protest, got a little bit of ammo, they were trying to break into the building. They had knives and zip ties. They were going to probably kidnap and kill people. That's not a little out of hand. What they did is a billion times worse than anything Antifa or BLM has ever done. Yet I know they won't get the same amount of hate because, well, they're white. And they aren't fighting for the mean left. Look, I don't like everything the left does either, even other leftists. But it's no frickin' contest. What these goddamn terrorists, and I'm gonna call them terrorists because that's what they are, did is 1,000 times worse than just, throwing a brick through a window. And look, I'm not defending, rioting or looting, especially with small businesses either. I'm just saying one thing is definitely a lot worse and should be treated as worse. Here's the thing. Trump supporters are crazy enough to do this. They fucking saw him as the savior. And here's the thing. Let me ask you a sincere question. If you thought somebody was like the reincarnation of Hitler and that there was this one person who could stop it and this one person didn't get to a position of power, would you do anything at all, including violence, to get this person into the position of power? I'm pretty sure most of you even thought, well, yes. Again, this is basically the situation. Fuck Trump, fuck Tim Pool, fuck Marco Rubio, fuck everybody who had anything to do with this. At least the FBI did arrest a few people, but let's face it, this is just like bread and peanuts, so they can appease people's emotion. So they're not actually going to do that much about these terrorists. Bye.